Yeah, it's just as well this was available to me. I have one vehicle in service and my wife's leaving in the other, so I'm fortunate this Zoom was available to me today. So how was everybody?
Good. Nice
Good.
day out there. Hopefully, a game of golf later.
So far, so good. Anyways, we'll see how the rest of the day goes.
Um, Sorry for the delay. Welcome to Lagoon City Parks and Waterways Commission agenda for Thursday, June 12th. We'll have the open of the meeting.
Today's meeting is being streamed live on the Township of Ramara YouTube channel. Be advised that by attending a public meeting of the Commission, you are consenting to your image, voice, and comments being recorded and will form a part of the public record. The chair, CAO, or secretary have the discretion and authority at any time to direct the termination or interruption of live streaming in exceptional circumstances where the content of the debate is considered inappropriate to be published. Attendees are advised that they may be subject to legal action if their actions result in unacceptable behavior or comments.
Thank you. Number two, the adoption of the agenda and or agenda additions. Recommendations that the Lagoon City Parks and Waterways Commission agenda dated June 12th, 2025 be adopted as presented. Somebody on the floor for me. Deputy Mayor, second by Commissioner Shoesmith. Any discussion on that? Next one, we're going into a closed session. There's a recommendation that we go into closed session at 9:37 to discuss matters in accordance with the solicitors 2392E and F of the Municipal Act with respect to solicitor client matters and potential litigation matters. Recommend somebody put that on the floor. Deputy Mayor, second by Commissioner Mason. All in favor? Hey, we're going to closed session. I'm not, Okay, so we're out of closed session at, where's my pen now? 10:49. So do I put a motion forward on that or no? Yeah, put a motion to come out of session. We did? Okay, so all in favor? Yeah, all in favor? Okay. So we have a few things to go over. 3.1, starting at 3.1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Lagoon City Parks and Waterways Commission receive an update on a litigation matter and the township solicitor proceed as directed.
So somebody put that on the floor. Deputy Mayor, second by the Commissioner Mason. All in favor? Next is 3.2.
That a memorandum from SV Law with respect to an overview of the roles and responsibilities between the Lagoon City Parks and Waterways Commission and the Township of Ramara received, and that this correspondence be released to council for their review in closed session.
Somebody put on the floor for me. Commissioner Shoesmith, second by Commissioner Mason. All in favor? Next one we have is 3.3.
That the confidential report LC 2125 dated June 9, 2025 from the Infrastructure Department regarding a potential litigation matter be received.
On the floor, the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Commissioner Mason. All in favor? And the last one we have is 3.4.
That the
Closed
Lagoon
session
City
minutes
Parks and Waterways Commission closed session minutes of May 12, 2025 be adopted as presented.
So I'm going to the floor, Deputy Mayor, seconded by Commissioner Shoesmith. All in favor? So we've done that. We're going to take a 10-minute break right now. Okay. Welcome back. Adoption of minutes, 4.1. Lagoon City Parks and Waterways Commission, 12th of May, 2025. Recommendation, Lagoon City Parks and Waterways Commission dated May 12th, 2025, be adopted as present. So move on the floor. Deputy Mayor, second by Commissioner Mason. Any discussion? All in favor? That's passed. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? I was a problem saying that. No, got nobody. Open forum regarding agenda items only. We have Mr. Bob Points there. So I think, Bob, when you want to come up, I think you come up here and speak here. This is my first time doing this. And can you put up the map of the lagoons? So, Bob, you got 2 minutes. Actually, this is what I'm told.
2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, Bob Points, and I live on 21 Poplar Crescent, Lagoon City. I'm talking about 9.4, the dredging of Gondola Lagoon and Cedar Lagoon. The 9.4 wants to get rid of the dredging in Gondola Lagoon. That section there needs to be dredged because you dredge the center of the lagoon. Once your dredging is done, the sides start to come into the lagoon. So it roads back into the canal. Right now, we're getting boats in the fall that are sitting on the bottom. And I usually pull my boat out the end of August because I have 2 inches of bottom underneath my boat. So I have to push my boat away from shore to put my motor down. So it's time to get that lagoon cleaned up and ready to go. Once it's dredged, you can get the clean flow in there, which is another form of dredging. It just uses a bubbler system with certain chemicals to help break down the organics. So we're going in the right direction. We just need to keep with the plan. Don't cancel the plan. Stick with it. They were talking that Cedar Lagoon, where they're going to dredge, is start to fill in with erosion. That might be a good idea to see what the problem is. There could be a shore wall that is failing along in there. I know the one that's right beside the takeoff on Lake Ave, that was repaired before the new owner took possession. So that's not the problem. The concrete wall that's along there could use maybe some repair work. And there's at least one wooden shore wall along in that section, which is probably starting to fail. Any questions or anything?
We're not allowed to ask any questions.
Oh, no questions?
No, we can't ask any questions.
Okay, all I want you to do is stick with the plan. Originally, the engineers looked at the results I got when I checked for the depth, and they agreed that it needed to be done. As far as I can tell, soil and mud do not evaporate, so it still needs to be done. Did I stick to the 2 minutes?
You're actually, yeah, you're right on. It's maybe 20 seconds off. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for coming in. Much appreciated. We'll be talking about that at 9.4. Okay, that's all. So we don't have any presentation receiving deputations. Okay, accounts and budgets, number 8. Council vouchers dated May 30, 2025. Recommendation of the council vouchers dated June 6, 2025 be received as information. Put on the floor. Commissioner Mason, second by the deputy mayor. Any discussion on that? Okay. Yeah, there's nothing there. All in favor? Just bear with me for a minute. It's got to change over. Sorry, I got my notes here. Okay, items of information, 9.1. Harvest weed hauling. Recommendations, the commission receive report LC 1625 as information that Lagoon City Parks want to enter into a 1-year contract with 82-71112 Ontario Inc. Robinson Quarry for harvested wheat haulage in the amount of $495 per load for the 2025 wheat harvesting system. Put on the floor, Commissioner Mason, second by Deputy Mayor. Discussion on this. Any discussion on that? 9.1.
I know it's not part of awarding this tender. I'm just curious what the other cost is for disposal. That's a piece that we're missing, the financial impact of that. I know it doesn't matter for this, but maybe in the future we can find that out.
Sure, it was let first. It'll be in a previous report. We can bring that report forward if you wish. The next one, the total cost, if you want, per load.
I think we should know that.
It's up to you guys.
So is that what you'd like to see? In the
Well,
next?
there's nowhere on this format.
It'd be
I'll request
interesting
it.
to-
I'll request it by email and then we'll
Right.
see at the next meeting.
Do you know why? No. Do you know why there was only the one bid on there?
I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
There's not usually, from what I understand in the past, a whole lot of interest in putting bins there and hauling that stuff out there. It's been,
But do we normally have more than one? No, I thought we used to have 2 or 3 that we looked at.
this is my first time going through this process, so it was only one bid this time, and I'm not sure.
And
what was
did
done.
you reach out to? Did you reach out? Did they reach out to you, or how's that all?
So we post publicly
Right.
on Bid and Go and on the township website, and the contractors will get access to that, and the ones that sign up and get notification and stuff.
But if I can just comment on that, the one thing with Bid and Go, the way it works is that it depends on how it's actually set up as the bid. If it's set up as an environmental thing as opposed to disposal or waste haulage, you'll get a different group because those people check those boxes. They'll only get, notified that bid is up that would apply to them. If they don't, a lot of people, you're missing out on a lot of possible people that could bid on it. Something to think about.
We can check into the background of that moving forward for sure.
No, it seemed like a big jump, and I read why there was a big jump. Thank you.
Right,
Yeah, it was a good report. I read that. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, any more discussion on it? All in favor? That's done. So that's 9.1. 9.2, infrastructure update. Recommendation the commission receive report LC 1725 as information. Put on the floor, Commissioner Shoesmith, second by Commissioner Mason. So 9.2, discussion on that. Okay, I've got a few things on it, Chris. I think the No Wake Boys look really good. I think I'm really impressed with that. It's better than the tire and everything and so forth. The question I have, and I tried to look at it last night from my house, because there's one out front. Is there reflection or reflectors on it? Because I don't think I saw. I had a light trying to shine it down there, and I didn't see anything reflecting.
I don't believe there's any reflectors on those buoys out there. No.
Do you think we should put them? Because I know I've almost run them down because I go out at night. I come, restaurants. I come back, and when not, we should put something to reflect on them that would reflect back.
We can certainly, upon a request from the commission, we can certainly
Greg?
certainly look into bringing a costing report forward for that if you want. Sure.
Commissioner Shoesmith.
Yeah, my observation with this whole sort of no wake issue in general is as people come in from the lake, they have a tendency to come in rather hastily. And by the time they reach the hotel, they're more or less doing a reasonable speed. And conversely, as they're exiting Lagoon City, once they sort of get to the hotel, they begin to accelerate. There's almost like this psychological effect that the hotel seems to be the entrance or the beginning of Lagoon City, without realizing that there's quite a bit of shore wall between the rocks and that hotel. And it seems to be just an ongoing issue, and everyone sort of jumps on board with that whole attitude that they can just go relatively as quick as they like up into the hotel. And you can actually hear the motor, the RPMs decreased right at that point. It's just sort of a habit that everyone's kind of picked up on. So I think putting something at the very front or saying, no wake begins now. I know there are some big signs, but now they've almost become noise because they've been there so long, no one pays attention to them anymore.
So you're asking for a sign as you come in with one of the no wake signs? Because there's a
Yeah,
sign, as soon as you come in, there's a big sign right on the shore wall saying no wake, right?
I
And
know,
the
but
speed
it's been
limit.
there so long, I think people just think of it as sort of like a reminder once you get into Lagoon City, then to slow down. It doesn't sort of say immediately it begins now, something to sort of reinforce the fact that they should be slowing down by the time they hit the shore walls and even through the rocky area too. I mean, just for safety factor.
Mhm. So did you want to put a motion to put a no wake sign? Like, what is there, Christine?
Or supplement the navigation buoys that are there, and just behind those, just say the no mooring or no wake zone has already begun. It doesn't begin soon. It's already in effect.
Okay, so going back to that then, let's go back to the reflectors. Do I have to put a motion forward to do the reflectors?
Yeah, maybe supplement some more signs or move one of them closer up to the actual entrance in and out of the lake. Something to just reinforce the idea that the no wake begins as soon as you enter into that levee or jetty, pardon me.
So Greg, are you suggesting an amendment on this motion to include adding a sign for that? Because right now it just stands as for information.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, to amend that or, add to it, supplement a couple more signs, something to just kind of bring it to people's attention that the no wake zone has already begun. It doesn't begin soon.
Why don't we take
Because,
one of our,
attention in all waterways that, the speed is whatever, 10 knots.
why
And
don't we
I
just
think
take
people
one of
are
our
just
others?
keeping,
Oh, sorry.
they're just keeping that in mind before they actually get into Lagoon City, which psychologically they think begins at the hotel for whatever reason.
What about we just take one of the signs we have? Because I think you added quite a few, right? And
If you want to move one, sure.
oh, hold on a sec. Just let Chris answer.
Sure, sorry.
There was 8 installed in the canals at the existing locations of the original no wake sign locations. That's what was.
So why don't we just
installed.
move one of them to the front then, right? Because that's a lot to have in there. You can take the one in front of my place, right?
Right, with an approved motion from you guys, we can.
I know,
do
that's
the
what I'm just
motion.
saying. Yeah.
I think one of the things that Greg suggested was maybe we've got the marker buoys already, the red and green buoys, maybe putting one on top of the channel markers that says no wake right on top of the channel markers, the first 2 channel markers that says no wake right there. That might be a little bit more of
Yeah.
a visual deterrent.
Yeah, something to, just reinforce the idea that it's already happening. It doesn't happen soon. It should be already in effect by the time you get to the first wall. And in fact, even throughout the rocky area too, just for safety considerations.
Okay, Laura.
Thank you. Maybe then can I suggest that the amendment be that we produce a report for the next meeting with options that the commission can consider, because there's a bunch of different ideas coming through here.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
It's a great idea. One thing I will add to this, I don't find signs work that well because there's so many there now. If they haven't got no wake, they're not going to get it. And I'll tell you, one of the best things, and I listen at my house, you can actually hear them changing their speed from where the house is, the people that yell at them. So you can actually hear them slow down because that house always yells at them. Then they speed up when they get by. So
Right,
if
so-
you yell at them, they slow down.
Oh, we do. But, like I say, there's this sort of imaginary sort of boundary that people have sort of projected into their head that begins at the hotel for whatever reason, because that seems to be where the most people live from that point on. So they tend to just ignore anything west of the hotel.
Okay, so what's the motion that we're putting forward?
More signs or
No,
something?
I'm asking the clerk.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
The commission received report LC 1725's information, and that staff produce a report for signage options for the commission to consider.
We okay with that? So are we, that's on top of what we're doing right now, because this covers everything
If this is something additional.
additional. Okay,
So then Greg moved it. I'll second.
okay, so Greg moved it, you seconded it. So it was Commissioner Shoesmith and second by the deputy mayor. So we just, can I say all in favor on that? All in favor? Okay, that's passed. The other-
Commissioner Johnson, could I request a 5-minute break? We just have some technical issues that we have to resolve.
Sure, okay.
Thank you.
So we'll break for till 11:20. Okay, Colton? Okay, we're here. Just to finish off the 9.2 infrastructure update, we've already dealt with that. I had one last thing. In there, you were talking about the cost for the fences and damage and so on and so forth. You're going to get back to us on that at a later date. When you get back to us, you're going to show us like who's paying for the insurance and all that sort of thing.
That's all. We're going all through that right now with the investigation and what have you. But
so that's what you're going to come back with, because that's what I'm
the
expecting.
report will have all of the costing involved in that, and whether it's an insurance claim or can be an insurance claim, or whether it's deductible related or whatever. That report will come back probably in the July meetings.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. I just wanted to make sure that's what we're going to see when it came back. Okay, that's great. That's all I've got in 9.2. Anybody else? No? All in favor? Done. So the next one is 9.3. Lighting, recommendation to report LC 1825 be received and that the quotation amount be put on the list for consideration during the 2026 budget deliberations. Put on the floor, Commissioner Mason, second by Commissioner Shoesmith. Any discussion? Okay, it's just like a lot of money actually, but we'll deal with that later. All in favor? Okay, dredging update, 9.4. The density remaining dredging memo recommendation that the commission receive LC 2025 and that the commission directs staff to schedule the dredging to take place in Cedar Lagoon. Put on the floor, Deputy Mayor, second by Commissioner Mason. It's discussion we've heard from Mr. Points. Any discussion? And that would be, I see everybody's on the screen now, but that would be sorry.
Yeah, Jesse Johnstone's joining us today from Tatham Engineering. And they've been doing all the contract admin up to current on the process of the dredging in the canals.
Okay, that's who that was. I was trying to figure who was up there. So did you want to talk about that, Chris, or do you want Tatum to speak to it?
The report and the memo are there. Jesse's here to answer any questions that the commission may have in regards to the report and the recommendation. So,
okay. Commissioner Shoesmith, would you like to ask a question?
Yeah, I would. What is the minimum depth required right now, or what is the standard, and where are we at on the ones that are in question?
So the standard for the lagoons is main canals measured from the top of the walls of the shore wall. The minimum depth in main canals is 2.3 meters. Secondary canals is 1.9 and tertiary canals is 1.8. Based on the measurements that Galcon took at the beginning of the month and again previously in November when they were there. The depth is at roughly 2.5 in the Gondola Lagoon.
Now you're
so
saying
we're
that,
well below.
okay,
Sorry,
you're saying that's right along the shore wall, like measured right up against the
nope,
wall, or in
that's
the center?
in the
center?
center of the canal.
And what are the
So
minimums
at
right along the shore walls then?
So along the shore wall, no dredging can be done within 6 feet or 1.8 meters of the shore wall.
Okay.
But that depth is typically at about a meter, 1.4 or something like that.
Okay, but that must vary quite wildly.
It varies.
Yeah.
The thing with the depth of the lagoons is we try to keep the depth in the center deep because the material that's there is pretty loose and liquid almost.
Sure.
So when you dig out the depth, it just sloughs in from the side. And so that's kind of how we, in order to bring down the sides, we dig the center, basically.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions, Commissioner? No? Do you have any questions on this? No? So you listen to what Bob said? So what Bob's talking about, the dredging, that's not going to be done till what, next year then?
So the plan will be to schedule it when the harvesting is completed this year, and Cedar Lagoon, the offload site, will be used for removing the dredge material.
Dredge material. But I guess I'm just trying to understand, like, we're changing it. So we're going to do one thing this year and then something else the next year.
No, this will be the completion of the original program from 2023. Jesse, I believe the start date was?
The original was 20. Yeah, I believe it's 2023.
So this was the whole thing that we put together years ago, right? And we're completing it finally?
That's correct.
That's correct. May have been 2022. I have to look
Okay,
at it.
Okay, Commissioner Shoesmith?
Yeah, there's some conduit piping that runs from the hotel and runs north-south from the hotel across the main canal. Do you know what the depth of that conduit is? It had burst or erupted or something at some point a few years ago. I'm just wondering, was it hit by a keel of a sailboat or any idea on that?
Yeah, I know that Galcon did come across some piping when they were doing the dredging in there. They didn't hit it or break it or anything, but they did come across it. I can look back and see what the depth is and get back to you on that, but I don't know off the top of my head.
I'd appreciate it if you could, please.
Yeah.
We have some sailboats in the area that do come right up to the wall too, so there's some concern with that piping.
Do we have any other questions? Okay. All in favor? That's passed. Okay, unfinished or new business. I actually only have one question. I just wanted to, oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, if we're done with 9.4, we can let Mr. Johnston go from Data Engineering. So
Thank you for coming in.
thanks, Jesse. Appreciate you being here today.
Thanks for having me anytime.
Okay, so the only question I had in, I guess, new business was the security people that have been coming to Lagoon City. Has somebody met with them or done something with them?
I can't speak to that. Commissioner Johnson. Sure.
So I believe that the security contract is managed by Mr. Popple, which Jen, do you have more
The
information?
deputy clerk is managing the contract, and I believe that she has met. However, I can confirm and have her reach out to you, Commissioner Johnson.
Yeah, I'd like to, because I want to make sure that they are wearing uniforms and that I want to make sure that they are treating our residents with respect and so on and so forth. So I'm probably going to try to get down there this weekend just to meet with them, right? But
I'll have the deputy clerk reach out.
if you wouldn't mind,
Yes.
just to see what's going on down there, because I didn't hear anything. And some people told me they didn't see a security down there the last weekend. So I just want to follow up and see what's going on. All right. Anything else? Okay. The adjournment. So the Lagoon City Parks and Waterways adjourn at, so what time is it? 11:27. Somebody put on the floor. Commissioner Mason, second by the deputy mayor. And 11:27. All in favor? That's passed. Thank you for coming, everybody.